Today we're going to read Red, a Crayon Story. It is written by Michael Hall. This is a story about a crayon I wrote. He was red. But he wasn't very good at it. "Oh dear," said the olive crayon. His teacher thought he needed more practice. "I'll draw you a red strawberry, then you draw a red strawberry. You can do this, really." But he couldn't really. "Like this?" "Oh my," said Scarlet. "Let's try again." His mother thought he needed to mix with other colors. "Why don't you two go out and draw a nice round orange? A really big one. A really orange one." But they made a big greenish one. "Yuck," said Yellow. "Oops," said Red. His grandparents thought he wasn't warm enough. "Your class is making self-portraits for parents' night. Wear this warm red scarf." "Nice. It's so you." But it so wasn't. Oh dearie me. Red had drawn a blue crayon with a blue scarf. Everyone seemed to have something to say. Amber said, "Sometimes I wonder if he's really red at all." Hazelnut said, "Don't be silly, it says red on his label." Cocoa Bean said, "He came that way from the factory." Fuchsia said, "Frankly, I don't think he's very bright." Grape said, "Well, I think he's lazy." Army Green said, "Right, he's got to press harder." Steel Gray said, "Really apply himself." Sunshine says, "Give him time, he'll catch on." Sea Green says, "Of course he will." But he didn't catch on. Green drew a green frog, black drew a black sheep, brown drew a brown cow, but red, he drew a blue ant. All the art supplies wanted to help. The masking tape thought he was broken inside. "This will help hold you together." The scissors thought his label was too tight. "One snip should do it." "I thought he wasn't sharp enough." "Stay still now," said the pencil sharpener. But even with all of our help and all of his hard work, looks like Red is still drawing lots of blue things. He just couldn't get the hang of it. One day, Red met a new friend. Barry asked, "Will you help me make a blue ocean for my boat?" "I can't," said Red. "I'm red." Barry asked, "Will you try?" So he did. "Thank you, it's perfect," said Barry. "You're welcome. It was easy." And he didn't stop there. Red drew bluebells, blue jeans, a blue bird, blueberries, and a blue whale. Red shouted, "I'm blue!" He was blue. He was blue. Olive said, "My son is brilliant." Amber said, "Who could have known he was blue?" Hazelnut said, "I always said he was blue." Cocoa Bean said, "It was obvious." Berry said, "His blue ocean really lifted me." Sea Green says, "All of his work makes me happy." Brown says, "His blue strawberries are my favorites." Apple Green says, "He's so intense." Yellow says, "I'm going to make a green lizard with him, a really big one." Gray said, "I hear he's working on a huge new project." And Scarlet says, "He's really reaching for the sky." And he really was. Red had drawn a beautiful blue sky. The end of our story. I present to you this story today called Red, a Crayon Story, because it really relates and connects to what we do as teachers. A lot of times we have kids that come into our classroom, and before we even know them, sometimes there's paperwork or previous lessons or previous mentions about them that say that this is what this kid is supposed to do or this is where this kid comes from. And it blocks our vision and it blocks our mind of what we're really here to do as teachers and educators. And it's our job to help our students reach their full potential. So like in the story, the crayon that had a red label on him, everybody thought he should be red and they forced him to do everything that red should be. But in the reality of it, he was really blue. So think about that as you're teaching this year. Disregard some of those previous comments and pre-made notions of what this kid did or what this kid supposedly didn't or didn't do, and really find out what that student or what that kid is really capable of and help them succeed to that level. Don't just look at them on the surface. Don't just look at our students on the surface. As we're educators, we are supposed to help our students achieve to their highest level on their abilities. So don't block them and don't stop them from what they are able to do just because of what somebody else or what society says. All of our students are able to learn and all of our students are going to be successful if we give them the proper tools and proper techniques that we can use to help them achieve what they are able to do. So think about that as you start the school year. Think about your students that may have that red label, but they may actually be blue. Don't force them to do only what red can do. Find out what they can do and help them be successful and elevate that in their learning and in their teaching.